Want to look at question one on June exam question paper. So the question one reads, Miss David works as a salesperson in a furniture shop. Below is an income and expenditure statement for the month of June. So you're given an income and expenditure statement whereby we have got a column for income and then also a column for expenses. So given the information that we have a continuation in terms of information whereby uh, we are going to start with question 1.1.1, which is calculate Miss David's total income for the month of June with 2 marks. So you can see that the section that we have that is showing us the income. We are having this part that is our income. So the question requires us calculate total income. So obviously we're going to add 9,400 plus 1,500 to get the total income. So going to our answer section, we are going to see that we are going to start on 1.1.1, whereby we are going to say 9,400 according to information given. We have 9,400 and then we add 1,500. So we add the two, the total that we are supposed to get is 10,900. So this becomes your answer for the first part. Then moving on to the second part of our question, it requires us to list two of your fixed expenses. So we need to understand what we mean by fixed expenses. So fixed expenses, they remain the same each time or each period that we're going to pay them, they will be the same. So if take for example, car repayment, obviously, you'll be paying this amount monthly and you'll be paying the same amount. That's a fixed expense. You can look also at insurance. Remember, you'll be paying in installments, which is going to mean you pay the same amount each and every month. So the amount paid remains constant or remains the same. So we have with car repayment, we have with entertainment is uh, two of as examples of fixed expenses. If you look there again, we've got other fixed expenses that you can pick. We've got magazine subscriptions, which we are having here. Medical aid contribution is also part of that. So in our other section, we can just pick two according to what we have. So we have picked medical aid contribution. We can pick it. That's the first one. We can pick the other one, which we can see that we have insurance here. Then pick another one. Remember, we've got car repayment. So that's what we have according to. If you refer back to the question, remember the question only requires us to pick two. So that's what we have on that part. So moving on to the 1.1.3. Miss David promised to give his son 200 rands pocket money during that month. Use calculations to check if she will be able to do so. So obviously, for us to see if she will be able to do so, we need to see the net income that is remaining after paying all the expenses. If we have got an amount that is more than 200 rands. So if we've got the amount which is more than 200 rands, it means there's enough money. But if the net income is less than 200 rands, it means there is no enough money. So remember, we have calculated the total income. We calculated it and we got our answer is 10,900. And then our total expenses, we're given it here is total, whereby it's represented by 10,701 rands, 15 cents. So we are going to say the total of income and as the total of expenses. So we are saying on the next part of our question, which is going to be 1.1.3, where we are going to calculate the balance of the net income, where we say income minus expenses. Remember, we did calculate our income and we got 10,900 rands. So we are going to say 10,900 rands to subtract our expenses, which we are giving as 10,701 rands, 15 cents. Subtract there, we see that the net income or the balance that you get is 198 rands, 85 cents. So this is our balance. So remember, our amount that we got is less than what is supposed to be given as 200 rands pocket money. So it means it's not possible. So basically, in conclusion, we are saying she will not have enough money left. So basically, as simple as that. So we are saying, therefore, she will not have enough money left. So basically, that's our response in terms of concluding, depending on the results that we have here. So we move on to the next part of our question, which now is number 4, 1.1.4. List two items on which Miss David could reduce in order to afford his son's pocket money. So we are saying, obviously, to afford this 200 rand pocket money, Miss David has to reduce the expenses. And which items can we pick that she can reduce? So obviously, we have to pick something which is not a necessity. Let's try to find out which one is not a necessity. So if you go there, you would see that, for example, let's pick entertainment. It's something that is like a luxury that can be reduced or removed because it's not a necessity. We choose another one, cosmetics. It's also a luxury which can be also removed so that we can reduce the expenses and afford that pocket money. We can try to see groceries, of course. Yes, we've got some part of groceries that are not going to be necessities, so we can reduce. So according to our question, I would say that it says list two items. So we can pick items, entertainment and cosmetics as the main ones. So we're saying 1.1.4. So we're saying entertainment. That's one of it, and then it also is cosmetics. So that's what we have. We move on to next part. Now on the next part, we are saying express the total for the car repayment as a percentage of the total income. Car repayment, we try to see what we have in terms of car repayment. We've got 999, and then obviously we say over the total income according to our question as a percentage of total income. Over total income times that of 1, so that we express as a percentage. So we are saying 1.1.5, whereby we have identified our car rental is 999 rands over the total for income. Remember, we did calculate that we got 10,900 rands as our total for income. Multiplied by 100 over 1. We express it as a percentage. What we get, we are going to get 9.17 to 2 decimal places. 9.17%. So this becomes our final answer. So that's what we have. We move on to the next part. Remember, this is the last question that we have on this page. We go to the next page. We are given 1.2. 1.2 reads, Miss David is a member of the SGB at his son's school, and they are raising funds for the school's rugby team. They sell t-shirts at a cost of 120 rands each to the community members. Miss David used the following formula to calculate the cost of making t-shirts. Total cost 330 rands plus 4 in brackets 40 times N. So this is the equation that we are given. Then our first part of the question, determine the formula for calculating the income. So income is from the selling, whereby we are having 120 rands, 120 rands each. So the income that we get is up, depends on the number of t-shirts that are going to be sold. So number of t-shirts times 120 rands, of which 120 rands we can, I mean the number of t-shirts we can represent it as N. So we can say as our 1.2.3. So we are saying 120 rands times N, which obviously is equal to 120 rands, 120 rands N, where N we regard that is a number of t-shirts. So basically we are saying where N is the number of t-shirts sold. Number of t-shirts, where N is going to be our number of t-shirts are sold. So basically we are saying we have N being a number of t-shirts. So basically that's what we have on that part. So having calculated that, now we need to move on to the next part of our question, whereby calculate the total cost of making 50 t-shirts, 50 t-shirts, of which 50 is the N. So we're just substituting 50 into N. So we can start by putting our formula, whereby it's 1.2 points. We can just say 1.2 points according to the question that we're given, 1.2.2. So the question that we've just done is 1.2.1, not 1.2.3. So we can just correct this 1.2.1, and this one becomes 1.2.2. So the formula says 330 rands. Remember, we are saying total costs. Rands, and then we add in brackets 40 times in. 40 times in brackets. So we just substitute here, we say 330, and then we add 40 times the number of t-shirts that we have, which is given is 50. So obviously we are substituting with 50 for N. We simplify it further, we see what we get. We calculate to get 2,300. So this is our total cost, 2,300. So basically this is what we have. So this is the total cost. So we move on to the next part of our question, which says calculate the total income if they sell 50 t-shirts. total income if they sell 50 t-shirts. So obviously, for the previous one, we calculated the costs of 50 t-shirts. So in terms of the income now, we are now saying, remember we have 1 point and 2 points. This is now going to be 1.2.4. For the question that we have, we've got 1.2.3. So this is now 1.2.3. So we can just indicate as such. So to calculate our total income, remember we have got a formula, it says 120. 120 times n. So this is the formula that we are going to use, which says 120 times n, of which our n in this particular case, we're given it is 50 t-shirts. So we just say 120 times 50. We see what we get there. We get our answer is 6,000. 6,000 rands. So 6,000 rands becomes our response, our answer. We go to the next part, which is the last part according to this video. Let's calculate the profit for making 50 t-shirts. So we now have the total cost for 50 t-shirts and the total income for 50 t-shirts. So obviously to find the profit, we are saying profit is equal to income minus cost. We calculate the income here, we got 6,000. So we are saying 6,000, subtract the costs, which we calculated for 50 t-shirts. Here we got 2,300. So we subtract 2,300. Calculate it correctly, and you get your net figure is 3,700. 3,700. So this becomes your, basically this is your profit. So this becomes the last part of the question according to this video. Thank you for listening, and let's stay tuned for more videos to come.